Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by patrons like Hako Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Den, Nestor Flores, Sodasan0424, and VideoGamer75. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
And at this point, nobody can tell if that's the audio clip I have of that, or just Lucky make that sound. Nobody can know. Hi everybody, welcome to Let's Talk FGO, a shockingly relaxed and casual episode. Yes, X, I do literally have an audio clip of that sound. I also have an audio clip of Lucky making the waha. And a perfect sample of Screaming Cowboy. But yes, hi, this is Let's Talk FGO. In case you can't tell from that intro, we're funny spicy today. I'm Omega, he's Lucky. We are the Filthy Casuals.
I want to say, I think I'm casual spicy today.
Oh, is it?
Anyway.
We can be like the Spice Girls. You're casual spice.
Okay, I'm a casual spice. You're sass. No, I am casual spice. You're casual sass.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yes, Vesper, you are Padoru Spice.
Anyway, I hope you are all enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka do you have enough UMU in your life yet? And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current or future events for both the JP and Ian version of the game, so you should so anyone not wanting spoilers should play the event their way.
Yes, and to YouTube and the Federal Trade Commission in the future, in case you couldn't tell, we are definitely not marketing towards children, because we made a Spice Girls joke.
We did. Oh
yeah.
My god, how many years ago was that? Fuck.
I don't know.
Wait, are we past 30 seconds? Yeah,
we're over a minute. We're over 60 seconds in. We're fine. We can swear. Also, hey, in case you couldn't tell, we drop F-bombs, which, while I'm not averse necessarily, because I listen to Red vs. Blue as a little 12-year-old child, we also accept that that's not necessarily what people approve of. So, that's on you as a parent if you let your kid listen to Let's Talk FGO. But in case you didn't get that,
I deleted a bit too much of my intro, and I'm like, wait, what did I say? Hang on, I gotta fix this.
But yeah, well, Lucky's fixing that. In case people don't know what that reference is to, YouTube and Google had to pay out a record-setting fine to the FTC for children's privacy violations because of ads and ad space tracking. So to combat this, YouTube is going to, over the next 4 months, basically kind of mostly demonetize child-facing content on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, if you are a channel or a episode that is focused on aimed at kids, you're going to lose a lot of your community functionality. You're going to lose personalized ads. Google can't track that anywhere. And so your monetization is going to go way down. Which is kind of a big deal, because that used to be the free money machine. But dear YouTube, analytics and human reviewers, this game we talk about is rated for T for teen, and according to our own internal polling data, our audience is broke-ass college kids.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Solid.
And we might talk more about that on What's Up. Because I'd love to hear Lucky's thoughts on the FTC calling YouTubers fish in a barrel.
Yeah, I feel like tomorrow episode's gonna be a bit spicy.
We're gonna have lots of little things to talk about.
Yeah.
But let's check in with everybody's favorite.
Before.
Yeah, I don't know how much that'll carry over, but we had a little back and forth over Girls Frontline. I was like, whoa, no, we need to record the other show.
Yeah.
Let's stop before we get into a conversation period, or before I say something dumb.
Lucky doesn't have to worry about that, because he's always saying something dumb.
No, but I've talked about this before on WhatsApp even. I accept that, that's my usual conflict resolution, is just get this the fuck out of me. Go away from me. And I'm like, no, I can't tell Lucky to go away, so it's the conversation has to go away. For now, anyway. But, let's see, where was I? Oh, that's right. I was saying we were going to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai.
Senpai, 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, our regular segment for pro tips. today's just a pretty typical one, in case you didn't pick up on it in the 6 days it's been around. This month's exchange items, because who knows, you might be saving them, but they're spinal fluid, fangs, and bones.
Believe it or not, that's actually a pretty hard choice to go between. Because there's a lot of old servants that use, like,
Yeah, you need a lot of fangs and bones, but at least at the moment, I have a decent stockpile. So I've mostly been...
And spinal fluid is something that's came more recently, so people don't have necessarily giant stockpiles.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah. So, as I said, it's a winner, but at the same time, you got to consider... You should probably put a little bit consideration into what servants you're planning on leveling and what their needs are. Remember, you do have a wiki at your fingertips, and you should use it.
And also, we've said this before as a pro tip, but just as a reminder, like I said, you don't have to exchange them right away. They last for, 170 days or something. Like, you get a few months where they can just sit in your present box. And note that when you do auto retrieve all, those don't come out, because you have to tap them to pick which item they represent. So, if you don't know what you're going to need right away, you can sit on them for a few weeks and then be like, okay, I'm going to exchange not for, 1 spinal fluid, but I really need 10 spinal fluids right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Axe is correct. Some servants literally need a whole person's worth of bones. But, yeah, why don't we move into Records from the Throne, a regular achievement topic, because we have stuff this week.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, I like I said, we also talked about this off mic, where, my workspace is a little cluttered, because I've got, the arm with my pop filter to my left, and now I have my mic arm to my right, so anytime I want to touch my keyboard or my mouse, it's a gamble. But, alright, so, I'll start. I got, UMU on a weekly ticket. Go me.
Yeah. That reminds me.
Go ahead.
You said, because we're coming up on our next download event here fairly soon, and one of the hallmarks of it is we get an SR exchange ticket. You were previously saying that you're going to use your SR exchange ticket for Nero, but now that you have pulled your almighty UMU, what is your plan?
Saber Altar.
Saber Altar, that's what it was. Okay, I know.
That's right, yeah. Going for my next Story Luck Saber, who I still don't have.
Okay, cool.
Though she's also on rate up, so I don't know. I might throw some at the banner to try and get not Lancer Altar, just regular Lancer Artoria, who is also story locked. So we'll see. I might also get lucky on that one.
Surprise!
And in case anybody is curious, I focus on story locks first because those are the hardest to get for free ticket stuff. But, yeah, so I've also already gone ahead and protected her smile. I am still working on the shitload of EXPs I need for max level, because I want to get that costume. But, man, servants. Also, I guess it's not really... I don't really think it's an achievement, but now's as good a point as any to talk about how far I am in the lotto. I just started box 9, so I've got all the CE and the costume and stuff.
I guess I'll mention them. For me, I actually did something, made Alter Smile Protected. Thank you. Plenty of, XPs and boxes. And when I say Smile Protected, I mean she's all the way up to 90. So that's, I do feel like I need to remind you, when Omega says his smile is protected, that means he's gotten her to the final ascension. When I say I got a smile protected, that means I've gotten her all the way to max level.
Because Lucky one of those has weird... to go the extra mile.
Well, if I didn't, I would literally have 50, 70 plus servants who were just at level 80 or level 70, and that sets me off a little bit. So it's so yeah, right now, let's see, what box am I? I got super lucky. I think I'm on, what box is the costume in? 6?
Yeah, that's 6.
Yeah, I'm on box 6 then. Because I got lucky and I got the costume in the first 40 pools, and I was all like, oh.
Yeah. And I know some people have gotten really good teams for farming and stuff and blitzed through. I haven't heard any stories of 50 or 100 boxes yet, but there are some people who are in the double digits.
No, I'm pretty sure there's some people, because I remember, I'm pretty sure one of our Discord users has, literally, stored up, over 60,000 petals, and then had a macro to push the button so they can make all the rolls.
Oh, yeah, somebody did, but they're on an emulator, so I'm sure they did some kind of sorcery to make that go faster.
Yeah, that's the thing, I'm having, thoughts and feelings about. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, really.
But yeah, the emulators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're doing okay, and let's move into our next segment. Not all the world's evil, but damn close. So I've done some CQs, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I have some more tickets, and I thought, I'll throw some more tickets for Bride. You know, she's not gonna have a rate up for a while. Maybe get some event CEs; those are cool.
Yeah.
And I got none of those things because you didn't hear about them. And I got something that starts with an E and ends in Satheno. So, yeah. Once again, by the way, full-blown spook, silver card, bursts into gold. It's a fucking Satheno. That's 2 rare prisms I have now.
She just loves you so much. I'm gonna say, though, I have, like, zero sympathy for you, Omega, as a man who had 13 mamas. Luckily, I can close that chapter on my life, but still.
I mean, that was rate ups, though. What were you expecting?
Rolling so much. Alter.
You dirty roller. Rolling so much rolls.
High roller. Oh, I should have made that joke. That was a good joke. God damn it, me.
It's too late. We're past the jokes. We don't have any jokes. There's no jokes to be had. The episode is just bleh.
Bleh. I'm sorry.
How many minutes of bleh do we have? We're at 10 minutes of bleh.
We're at 10 minutes of bleh. I'm sorry, everybody. I have failed you. I will go home and commit seppuku.
Wait, no, but we're only 10 minutes in. We need at least, 30 more minutes of show.
Okay, fine. I'll wait till after the show.
Let's hit the news. It's all JP stuff, because there's nothing new for America. That's okay. We got, a week left in Nerofest? 5 days? Something like that?
Yeah.
We got a few. And then, is it immediately? I think it's immediately into 10 million downloads. I will double check that in the background, but let's talk about the stuff. Which is that, so first off, JP got the big update. We are now officially on FGO app version 2.0, which for Android was a big update. It converted stuff to Unity and other background stuff, which should hopefully make updates easier to do, compatible with Android 10, and just in general help the game. It also was the big update that invalidated all old Intel processors.
Oof.
And so some people are not in a good way with their devices. But yeah, it happened recently in JP. Yeah. And be warned, we're going to do something similar in NA. We've talked about this before. Double check your device, make sure to back up your code. Double back up your codes just in case.
Yeah, they did. They did give out plenty of warning.
Mm-hmm. And but also FGO NA has been tweeting, don't update to Android 10 yet. We haven't finished making English FGO compatible with that OS yet. Don't do it.
Everybody listening, when you take a moment, make sure that you update your transfer code and write it down somewhere.
Yeah. So just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
Copy all that shit down. Your transfer code and your password. You need both.
Do it.
But hopefully, especially if we get converted to the newer Unity framework and updates get easier, hopefully we can get some of those features like the account binding on Google and stuff sooner.
Yeah. I don't know, how, I don't know if, North America is working on their own personal update, because, as you know, the JP versions and NA versions are not identical.
Yeah. So,
all the stuff that they're transferring over in the JP version might not necessarily translate to what's going on over here in the NA version, but maybe they're working on one too, because as I said, we've been getting the notices too, so our update can't be too far away.
Yeah. And mostly I'm just hopeful that if we build that kind of similar framework, because I've heard that from development that FGO is sometimes harder to work with. Yeah. So hopefully this 2.0 not only runs better, but is easier to work with. But anyway, the big news in JP, because Summer 4 ended a little while ago, so there was the whole, alright, well, what's going on? What are we doing next? And I was like, wonder what it'll be. Will it be half AP something? I don't know, maybe they'll do an interlude campaign. Yeah, that's it. It's time for interlude campaign number 10.
AKA, are you guys ready to faff about for the next, 4 months?
Well, they're gonna, space them out.
Mm-hmm.
Cause, let's see, it should be whatever Nerofest is next for them anyway, but we'll see how it shakes out. Cause the interlude campaign is obviously running for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. So, excuse me.
What?
So the campaign is running from 9/4 to 9/18. So you got a couple weeks in there. Let's see. What's the actual features? So new interludes for Ishtar, Tesla, Enkidu, Jack Amakusa, and Parvati. The last 3 in that list are just St. Court's interludes. Not that those aren't fun, but just telling you don't get excited for like some kind of secret buff.
Mhm.
But in terms of buffs, though, there are some. Ishtar got the normal NP interlude damage increase and now drops a lot of stars. I believe it's a flat 20. Tesla's galvanism got upgraded. It is now Tesla coils, and it gives the whole team NP gain, not just him. So that's cool. And Enkidu got the usual percentage increase for damage multiplier and defense down, but now also does 200% damage versus threats to humanity, like Lost Belt bosses, foreigners, etc. This is the same kind of trait damage that MHXX does with her NP.
Okay, cool.
Interesting little niche that they did there.
Mm.
And then, that's all that. There's also a raid up on Jack, Tesla, and Parvati, which some people think is very baity, but do remember Tesla is story locked, so
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like...
Also, Jack doesn't get a lot of standalone raid ups. Looks like there's also some new story sprites in this too. There's a Super Ishtar, and there's
What?
Enkidu with his own dumb sign.
What does the dumb sign say?
I don't remember. It was something like, not quite like useless goddess, but it was definitely something self-deprecating, like, failure or something.
Oh.
He got shamed
Poor
too.
Clay boy. Poor Clay boy.
Also, I believe in Enkidu's interlude, they did a really interesting mechanic where you have to fight him as Mordred with no master abilities. You can't do mystic codes or seals.
Oh.
So that's an interesting gimmick. And also, in this time period, half AP on all interludes.
Ta-da!
And also, JP just hit 1,500 days. They got 10 SQ. So what number did we just hit? Was it 700 or 800?
800.
800. So there's your distance. JP is at 1,500 days. We are at 800.
Man, this game... Wow.
10 St. Courts. And I double-checked, so the next events coming after Nerofest ends will be whatever they do with the... well, actually, technically, I think it should start somewhere in there as the Okita and Hijikata banner. Don't know what they're going to do with that. But yes, immediately after that will be 10 million downloads, so whatever number they arbitrarily say that we do.
Yeah, the Okita and Hijikata was for Kyoma Fest, wasn't it, originally?
Yes. I hope that they will find an excuse to make that banner for something.
Well, they made an excuse for the Ilya banner.
Yeah, they just threw that in there.
Yeah, they just threw it in there, so...
Hopefully she is limited. And also, after... Well, a little bit after the 10 million downloads, there's also what would have been the FGO The Stage commemoration, which had banners with various Knights of the Round, and also Da Vinci got a raid up. So that would be cool to not lose. It's got a Bedivere raid up, which is good, because he's story locked. So we'll see if they pull that off. But yeah, that's the news, kids.
Ta-da!
Let's jump into free talk. So, I will admit a lot of the extra stuff from summer kind of blurred together. You know how it is, because the event's like 2 or 3 weeks long, and it's just like, it switches together. That's good, though. We'll have a unique experience. But, just a quick heads up, which apparently was true the whole time, but nobody really commented on. Musashi does have a tanned costume, because her final ascension has tan lines. So you can get a tanned version of her third ascension. It's a reverse BB. You can make her more tanned. And, Saber Shiki has bunny ears.
Decapitation Bunny.
So that was a cool little ad that they just kind of threw out there. They are getting more free with the costumes. There were like a couple of optional costumes in addition to male costumes and stuff. So hopefully they keep that up.
Melt can have her glasses, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Melt can keep her glasses in certain ascensions for memes. But yeah, so they're getting better about little details here and there. And I know lots of people are hoping that when the Halloween rerun comes around, if Onified Liz is not a standalone character, that she gets that sprite at least, which would be good. Because no offense to Liz, but her art is a little older, even if she's gotten her animation update.
Her final ascension's so poofy.
Yeah, it's very floof. But yeah, so that's just that, and I guess we can talk about Nerofest stuff now.
Nerofest!
So let's see. We've both talked about our boxes already. Boxes are okay. I'm farming petals right now. It's not super hard.
Lucky was actually able to finally get all the CEs out of the store, although I can only use about Like, I'm not gonna lie, my farming setup is super goddamn fucking basic. I use my Tomcat, I use my Mama Raiko, and I use a Waver.
So you're just AoE bullying. I wonder if that would be any... Well, it's probably quicker. I'm on 6 turns right now, and I'm using Cleo, Tamalancer, Kintoki, so I can just eat the boss wave. That Hydra's a pain in the ass, though.
It takes me about, 9 turns. Well, no, it takes me about 7 turns to clear it if my RNG is good. If I can get, because I've been using, actually, interesting enough, I can't remember, I've been using the Anniversary Blonde Mystic Code, the one that gives you Mana Burst, gives you critical stars, and guts. Basically, if I can get, a chain with Raiko, I can just use her Elementary Mastery Arms to basically suck up stars to basically finish what's ever left over after her MP, after she bullies everything else. Because that's the interesting thing about Notice. There's usually, 2, bosses that have, middle road HP, and then one that has, it's literally double of that. So usually her Noble Phantasm will clear out those 2 and leave the other one at half. If I can get a solid crit just off of one tack after that, that's they're just usually done.
Yeah, that's kind of Raiko's strategy, but also yes, that's a thing. And yes, as Axe commented that when you get to the final rounds, you can do Summer Mordred dumb loop strategies, which I will be happy to try out when we get there, because I have a Summer Mordred now. Let's see. But yeah, so farming's okay. We'll see, we've been dealing with the main event for a while, so I'm kind of over whatever funnies were going on with those characters.
Well, as we are recording, we have not less than an hour, but it says about an hour.
Yeah, because it's 6:45 right now, Eastern, so it'll be about an hour and 15 to server reset. So that'll be good to get some new blood in there, get some new fun stuff.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I haven't done a single challenge quest. I plan to, not right now.
Okay,
I'm trying to
that's
farm.
fair. I definitely took them in stages. I took it upon myself to one day just sit down and do all the old CQs, which I did except for the finale because that's just really long and tedious dealing with the, killing X characters first and all that. So I'm just whatever. I don't need the tickets that badly. I don't.
I do want some tickets.
Tickets aren't bad, but just I don't need an extra one. One ticket will probably not make a difference, especially when I'm getting other tickets. But the old ones are pretty easy to do because you can just double Merlin or other dumb nonsense and just crush them. Not a big deal. So it's whatever. I have done a few of the new CQs, but not a lot, because they're a lot slower. I've heard people complaining all day, for instance, about the Da Vinci one and just how long it is. I'm just I don't really like the long ones. The frickin' Hassan one, even with not being as hard, took forever. So I'm even though I've managed to find somebody who had a high-level Amakusa on support and just carried that Amakusa across the finish line, it was still such a pain in the butt. So
What's
I'm
Da Vinci's gimmick again? I forget.
Da Vinci is surrounded by mobs, and if you kill her, she will make the mobs unkillable and super damage, and they'll kill you.
Wow.
So you have to beat up all these mobs constantly before you beat up Da Vinci last, otherwise you're fucked. And these are things like, 60k HP chimeras and other stuff, and they debuff you when you kill them and all that stuff. It's like the Hassan quest, but more complex because there's more different enemies that do different things. So yeah, I'm not keen on trying that one out. Tonight I think will be the Gramps one, which I've got my own Gramps level to experiment with, so maybe I'll try that one. I did the first 2, which were Spartacus. That wasn't that hard. I had to use seals to get Urali to fire her NP fast enough, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just, stacking the damage in, crush him. And then I did Suzuka, which is it's really more intimidating than it's less intimidating than it looks, I should say, because she's got a lot of dumb gimmicks, and I had to try it a couple times because I didn't realize how how bad her taunt is, but I was able to beat her with just Nobu as my damage dealer.
Huh.
Like, she was just a little tedious, and I had to take a couple tries. I have not managed to complete Arash because I could not get my defense stacking system to work, so I don't know if I want to try and switch to Iris Veil, or if I want to try and time my stacking defense buffs better. I don't know. I don't like the Arash one because it feels like, well, all of the CQs really reward you for having certain servants in your setups, but some are more freeform than others. Like, there's a lot of characters who can work for Suzuka's, for instance. There's a lot of different things, like, you can work through some stuff, and ideally you want a balanced archer at the end so you can kind of exploit her third-tier gimmick. But it's not that complex, and if you have been playing a long time, you've got a free servant who does it. Hi, Nobu. Because Suzuka is riding and divine and a saber. So slap Nobu with 200% damage, and she's gonna have a bad time. But Arash really feels like, you know, hey, like, obvious one, like, hey, did you 10-10-10 max level mash, which most people should do, but then it's like, oh, did you remember to, like, expensively flesh out all the skills on your Hans or your Asterios? And I'm like, I mean, my Asterios is NP5 and max leveled, but no, I haven't necessarily policed up all his skills and stuff.
Again, that's the fatal flaw in a lot of recommended strategies. They always assume that the servants you're using are generally, like, max skilled as well.
Yeah, like, not even my waivers 10-10-10, which would be my, you know, my whale style comp would be to waver in there. So I'm like, yeah, I don't really know if I've got tools that I like to use. Like, I get that you just want to keep gutsing and healing, I guess, so he wears himself out, but he still has to charge for 3 fucking turns, the nerd. So it's like, it's trying to find a comp that's tedious and everything stays up all the time, basically. That's why I lost the first one, was just that I was like, oh shit, I used my buffs too early and he just ate through them. Like, my timing on NPs wasn't close enough. But he can also charge his NP on his own, so it's whatever. It was just, Arash is really frustrating because it's another one of those waiting games where you have to wait for just the right turn to do the thing.
Yeah, that just seems like a little too stressful for me for a ticket.
Yeah, no, some of them are like that. They're just like, this isn't worth it. Like, some of these I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna bother doing the Da Vinci one because it's gonna be like, okay, what clusterfuck units am I supposed to have? Oh, I should have a coup altar for this? Well, I don't have my own, so I'll have to see if I can find somebody on support. I can probably do that. You know, the whole blah blah blah, and I'm just like, it's frustrating, but I do like that the game itself is like, hey, these are high level, don't feel bad about yourself if you can't do them. And I just am like that. I just accept, maybe some of these quests aren't for me. Though I was shocked, like, Merlin really is cruise control. I did the Gil quest, which was I remember being a real pain in the ass last year, and I used Merlin to juice up my Tama Lancer, who, in case you guys have forgotten, is NP3. And I did her NP while he still had the NP down buff that he does, you know? Mm-hmm. And I looked away, and when I looked back, he was dead. And I was just like, wait, what? What? I thought that would take more. Wasn't the whole point that he makes it so you can't do that? I guess not. Whoops. Good job, Merlin. Good job, Tammy.
Rip him.
Yeah, and no, I did an NPBB chain with her, and I just looked away, and, like, when I looked back, he was gone. And I'm like, what? So, like, that's a fun, satisfying sensation. I feel like the new CQs, the new exhibition matches, you can't do that.
Well, they explicitly did stuff like literally, like, no duplicate units. I wonder why.
Yep. But yeah, so it's fun and entertaining to try some of them. Some of them it is not.
Yeah, so, as I said, I'm gonna give it the good old honest try, probably in the last couple days. But right now, I'm trying to maintain my boxes. Like, again, I don't know how people, like, farm so many boxes, whether it's through absolute horrifying dedication or hacks, but it's like, Jesus Christ.
Well, and also then there's not even the actual farming them, because, like we said, sometimes you can get some of these you can get a really good setup and you can burn through them efficiently.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how some people just save apples for lotto events. Like, I've been spending apples at a pretty good clip, and I have loads. But
it helps that the boxes give you a couple, too.
that too. But the real dedication is the tapping, right? Like, just, how do you spend all those petals? What are your pedal spending strategies, audience? Let us know.
Like, I'm not one of those people who, like, I spend my pedals, like once they get up to 400, I'm like, time to spend some pedals. Then
you do a couple runs, and then you just bomb through them. Why not?
Yeah.
Now, luckily, you can redeem them for a while.
Yeah.
But still, like, just now, my index finger's getting a little antsy just thinking about it. Because you got to do a lot of taps.
I've seen funny videos of people. I've seen some videos of people, like, making weird contraptions to do the tapping for them. Makes me giggle every time.
Yep. You know the one.
You know the one.
Actually, I think that was when Editor Lucky was in the booth. Editor Lucky stuck that win at the end.
I did. I remember now because I was like, "Oh my god, Omega, you have to see this."
Yeah, and we slipped it in there at the end.
Yeah. Good time.
But yeah,
good time.
All right,
so it's amazing that we can actually talk about the good times we've had recording the show, considering we've been doing it for over 2 years.
Yeah, we officially can talk about the good times. We've been doing. Listen, in EN, this game's been going for 800 days. That's as long as we've been at least formulating this show. But yeah, so we're here. I think that's everything we talk about Nerofest. So now it's time to faff, because we've only been going for 30 minutes, and that's too small. Our audience can't even grind pedals in that time. I've done like 2 pedal runs while we've been recording.
I just finished my 3rd. So actually, we do have like little bit of things here and there. We can put off the case files, but speaking of animation, surprisingly, Crunchyroll did eventually get the Babylonia episode 0.
Oh yeah, I should have put that in news.
Yeah. As I said, like I watched, I will confess, I watched it via Witchcraft beforehand because there was no way in hell I was waiting, and no way in hell I was gonna sub to Funimation for one thing. Just it's not my jam. But Crunchyroll actually put out an announcement, and they're all like, "Yeah, no, here you can now watch it." And we're like, "Sweet!" So I watched it. It was good. I shed tears because, as everyone knows, Lucky's a crier. But it made me wondering, like, what was the business dealings behind this? Because Crunchyroll actually has a pretty good record of getting Fate works. Like they have Unlimited Blade works. They have all of Ilya Prisma. They have the Unlimited Blade works. Ilya Prisma. They have the what was the First Order? They have First Order on there. Yeah. So I was a little surprised to see that.
I believe that Crunchyroll usually has a very good relationship with Aniplex.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they also have Fate Zero on there. Mm-hmm. Like
though Netflix also has I believe most of those. I don't know if they have Prisma. And Netflix did scoop up Apocrypha and Last on Care. Yeah.
So like if it's not like aside from the original Fate Stay Night and those two that,
also didn't Crunchyroll get Ep-Zero of their case files right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm dumb. But yeah, they also got the Ep-Zero of case files was what I was thinking about.
Yeah, they aired it like I think almost like didn't they air it like within the same week that it aired in Japan?
Yeah, they did their normal Crunchyroll turnaround time thing. Yeah. Which was why a lot of people were surprised by Ep-Zero of Babylonia. And we can presume that I believe Crunchyroll has said they're getting Babylonia later when it airs.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that there was probably some dealings, because you gotta remember, Crunchyroll did have dealings with Funimation until they had a fallout. So this might have been an exclusivity deal, where it's like, alright, Funimation, you can air it for like this long ahead of everyone else, and we'll just pick up the anime later. Because Funimation usually deals in primarily dubs, I want to say. I can't, like I said, I'm not super familiar with, like, Funimation's business model. Does anyone in our chat know?
Well, I mean, they're a dub studio, so
yeah,
like they get licenses to produce dubs, and they have their own. Like everybody else, they used to just sell Blu-rays for what they license, but now they also do like streaming. And they, so like you said, they used to be partnered with Crunchyroll to offer their dubs, but then they split, I guess, when that built their own audience.
Yeah, our Padoru cult leader Vesper says that Funi's usually dubbed. The only shows that they tend to air non-dubbed are their major projects. And that they're still subbing. And so, basically, I guess Funimation saw the chance to snap up some real good views with this, because I don't know about you, but as soon as I saw that there was going to be an episode 0, I was excited. Were you excited, Omega?
Oh yeah, no, I was like, oh, cool. I didn't even realize, because it was a pretty. They showed it on stream at well, not on stream, but they showed it live on stage at FGO Fest 4.
Yeah. So Funimation was probably like, all right, let's throw money so we can get some exclusivities. But Crunchyroll's making some serious bank. You can talk shit about their businesses, practices all you like, but if they make enough bank, they can throw around some fucking money to like get their own anime. Well, not their own animes, but get
this is
animes.
Great. On mic, sorry to interrupt you, but on mic, I just got a CE drop, my first ever.
What?
I got a rainbow chest. Now I can max limit break that CE when this is over. Yay, go me!
So,
Meanwhile, there are some people in the chat who have many, many copies of the CE dropped. Why not?
So, Crunchyroll probably, they probably have to have a board, meeting with, Aniplex and be like, alright, you can have it, this long, and then they'll get it, and then they have this. Business meetings, whew. People don't understand, business deals can get pretty cutthroat.
Well, I mean, yeah, we talked about this on WhatsApp a couple weeks ago when we talked about the Spider-Man thing, which I know a lot of people immediately jumped against Sony, but what came out was that Disney was like, okay, for our new deal, we want to go 50-50 on the movies with you. We'll cover 50% of the production costs, but also we want 50% of the profits, which, considering Sony was previously funding these movies just fine, and they were making way more money than they cost to produce.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because that's the important thing. A lot of people think that the Spider-Man MCU movies were just MCU stuff. No, those were done by, Columbia Pictures in cooperation with Marvel Studios. So Sony was footing most of the bill, and Disney was only scooping up a little bit of the cash back for the rights licensing, and then they were like, okay, well, we'll give you 50% of the production cost, but we also want 50% of that big money. And Sony was like, no. Why? Why would we do that?
Remember,
that's a lot of money.
The cost to produce the money is set. The amount that the movie would profit is not set.
And also, like I said, very disproportional.
Yeah.
The last Spider-Man cost it was it tens of millions or a couple $100 million to make, and it made several times that.
Yeah.
So it made back its money several times over, and then Disney would want to scoop in and be like, whoop, profit. No, and you can see why Sony was like, we don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So that's business and money stuff.
That's business and money stuff. So I said some people were a little bit harsh against Crunchyroll, I feel, but why the fuck it's so late? I'm all like, me just going business.
No, let's see. Hold on. So it's September. When was the actual festival? That was early August, right?
Yeah.
So it was probably 30 days exclusive.
Yeah, they had a month exclusivity.
Which you think that doesn't sound like a big deal, and I'm sure Crunchyroll didn't think it was a big deal, but in the days of the internet, 30 days is a long fucking time.
Well, yeah, because this is the thing. We have especially in internet culture, we have a very trend-heavy mindset. We're always jumping from the hottest thing to the next hottest thing. Super fucking quick. Things trend and die in, matter of hours.
Yep.
So, honestly, it's kind of a win for Funimation.
We know that from doing our shows.
Yeah.
That's why our titles, I know some people are like, ooh, clickbait, but that's why some of our titles are, I try and phrase our titles as grabby as possible. No idea what I'm going to call this one, by the way.
Okay.
But I try to make them grabby because you want to catch people's eye and get them while they're on a topic, because otherwise they won't necessarily fish you out from any other video, right?
Yeah. So Funimation getting to air it immediately while this episode is hot and in the now, that was the really super big boon to them. Mm-hmm. People, as soon as they announced it, they probably got a small influx of new subscribers, their view counts went up. And here's the thing about things. When people, like, go in for one thing, they'll usually, after they're done with that thing, they'll start looking around at the other things they have.
Right, because you're paid for it, so you're like, people are like that. It's a sunk cost fallacy. It's like, well, I've paid for this, I'm gonna get my most out of it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Funimation does have a pretty good blockbuster right now in that they're the guys doing the English dub of My Hero, which is huge, and people actually really do like that dub. That's part of what their Crunchyroll partnership was that you could get both the sub and the dub on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I prefer the sub because it's faster, but still, like, they do good work. They do goo.
They do goo.
So, yeah.
But, so that's super interesting, but again, I think, as I said, I don't know, has First Order and all... Well, as I said, Funimation might be handling the dub of the anime, but I don't know, like, honestly, man, we need to get some PR department, and we need to start making phone calls.
Yeah, we need to be taken more seriously so you can make phone calls and people don't hang up on you.
Well, I was being dumb that first time, so I completely understand. I was actually thinking about it, it's like, I should have asked for their public-facing department.
Yeah.
The
get a statement. But we'll figure out building our credentials as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because, hey, we're a real YouTube channel now. YouTube says that we're a partner, and we have monetization and ads and stuff. Like, we're for reals. Advertisers think we're legit. That's as legit as you can be.
Yeah, well, you can think about it because Omega's actually conned me onto watching Inside Gaming on the semi-reg. It's like usually when like I'm browsing through my YouTubes and it pops up, or Omega like posts something about it in the games channel in our Discord. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this because news. I like game news, and they're always talking about how they called people. I'm like, I want to call people.
Oh yeah, they do. They get a lot of their. I mean, you can see the screen grabs. They get a lot of work done through like iPhone texts. And that's journalism, so it's like, oh shit, I can see what you're like. Oh man, I wish I could do that, and we probably can. Though they have worked very hard, I think, to be in the position where they're Inside Gaming. Like, Inside Gaming is a subdivision of Rooster Teeth, who are owned by like Warner Brothers now, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So like they've got some layers to go through of like they're legit. We're not that legit, but we're still a little bit legit.
Well, at the most thing, they say we declined to comment, and then I'm going to say, like, our people called their people, and they declined to comment. And I'll be like, yes, that is totally true.
It's accurate, yeah. We'll keep that in mind for future news updates. Anyway, yeah, so there are some questions that could be answered there about what was going on. But it happened, so now anybody, if you didn't already witchcraft it, you can give Crunchyroll your views. Which, that'll be the most curious thing to see, is, like, did the exclusivity lose Crunchyroll business because people just got fed up and pirated it? Like, not necessarily that Funimation made more money, but will Crunchyroll make less money? Though, technically, I don't know, that's always a question too, because regardless, they're making your money if you're a member anyway. So,
yeah,
I guess that's the real business deal, is to sucker people into memberships, and then it doesn't matter if they actually watch anything, they're still paying you.
Well, I guess honestly it might depend on whether Episode 0 is connected to the actual anime or not. Because, like, with Case File, Episode 0 is actually part of the Case Files lineup.
Right, it's counted. So I expect Babylonia will be. It's like a recap and setup.
So, with that regards, like, people might decide to watch it or rewatch it when the anime comes up. Funimation might have gotten the short-term profit, but I think Crunchyroll might be going for the long-term.
That's true. It's going in their library, and it'll be there as Episode 0 listed the whole time when the series actually drops, which will be a big deal.
Yeah.
But all right. Also, by the way, so we got a comment that just came in on last week's episode.
Oh.
Where I was like, I mentioned the term ghostliner, and it's like, I don't remember that at all. So apparently that relates to high-powered familiars that mages can control, anything related to imaginary element stuff. But they specifically called out that you had to get it, you would probably be reading Mahou Tsukai no Yoru, which I'm like, I didn't. That's another thing that's not officially out anywhere. Thanks, guys. But yeah, so that's...
Wait, what was that title again?
Mahou Tsukai no Yoru. I will copy it for you and the audience, unless somebody in Patreon chat beats me to it. No, they didn't. Boom. Normally that is abbreviated as Mahoyo, I believe, by the Nasu offenders. Is it I think it's a visual novel.
Well, I'm gonna Google it right now. So let me see here.
Yeah.
Magician's Night, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember this.
Mhm.
Well, I never played it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's another Type Moon kind of big
visual
deal.
novel, yeah.
Once again, never coming out in English. God damn it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Type Moon Studio BV's been clicking along, and everybody thinks they're making a 2D fighter because they're
because
advertising for 2D
um,
artists and sprite animators.
Because this is where fucking Alko and Toko Maozuki come.
Well, technically, I think they separately come from Tsukihime and Kara no Kyokai first, but yeah, this is the only time we see them actually together.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a big deal for their character arcs, but it's only shown in this one medium.
Yeah.
Because in case you didn't know, the Aozaki sisters don't get along well.
No.
So speaking of that and other fluff stuff, and like Kara no Kyokai, the FGO Material 6 has officially hit street date, and there have been some translations of some profiles so far, which is interesting. Some of them are cool, some of them are not. Whoever wrote Hokusai's profile, I want to punch, because they described existence outside the domain, which is the class skill for foreigners, and it's just like, the skill possessed by beings from outer space, and I'm like, God damn it. Those are always the worst, from a lore perspective, those are always the worst descriptions of skills. The skill of the blah blah to do with the bloody blue. Cleopatra's protection of the goddess. A skill relating to the blessings of Isis and protections. I'm like, but what blessings? What protections? What do they do? What does it mean? So yeah, that's not helpful there, but there's some other stuff in there. And in case people were curious, this goes from Tomoe to Fujino. So it goes from Shimosa, which we're about to do soon in NA, to the K&K rerun. It doesn't include any Lost Belt stuff. And before you ask, doesn't that make the book a little thin? Kind of, but there's also lots of collections of sprites and even concept art of lots of NPC characters. There's like the original NPC sprite sheets for Miyu when she was in the Prisma collab. There's the like story sprites and sprite sheets for the Lion King and Agravain. All of the special Demon Pillar guys we meet in Epic of Remnant. There's actually concept art for Dahut, which showed you that Wadarko did put in the legwork.
Nice.
You can see what Dahut looks like from behind if you cared.
I do care.
I posted that in art dump like forever ago for posterity, but it's in there somewhere. I will
Posterior.
find the... Can I find... Probably not, because art dump is one of our busiest channels. Let me see if I can...
We literally have this one guy who spends like half his time just posting art.
I'll filter it by posts from me to see how... Because I only... No, and it has to be in...
I'm out of AP. Do I want to take a break? No, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, in art dump. Posted by me in art dump. I went on a spree hunting for Three Houses art. There it is. Okay. Jump to the Imgur link of the full thing. So I will repost this.
One of my joys is looking up Violet Elfgard. Okay.
Well, we will once again talk for a long time about Three Houses and What's Up. That's What's Up 56, kids. Look for it soon.
Yeah!
But yeah, so I posted the Imgur link to our patron thing. But it's got, like, art for the Divine Bull. It's got the concept art for all the racers' vehicles. The sprites for Lobocop and Enkidu Lecter. All that kind of stuff. So it's not just empty stuff. There's concept arts for Fergus Lily. All that kind of stuff. You know, just the usual stuff. They've got the story sprite sheet for Casual Saber Altar.
Yeah.
No, that's too powerful. I need to link it, not
Katadon's is a golem, right? Not something.
What now?
But she's precious and I want her. Lucky will roll. Oh, god damn it, sprites! No! No! I'm excited for Shimosa, by the way.
Yeah, I'm kind of keen. I really want to read that one for myself.
Yeah,
Like I've said this before, the mechanics sound kind of like they might be a little frustrating because there's some mandatory battles, but or mandatory with support. But yeah, the story sounds fun. Also, if you were curious, in this there's concept arts for a lot of the Mystic codes, which I think shows that Takeuchi can actually do some slightly different poses and faces. It's just that I think for the sake of fitting them on the in-game sprites, a lot of stuff looks similar.
Yeah.
Because, like, the look of the finished product in the sprite form is slightly different than his more loose concept art sketches.
Like, I was actually running into this issue a little bit. Like, when I'm doing the... oh, shit, I need to do the thumbnail. When I'm doing the thumbnail, and I'm trying to, like get all the assets that I want from a servant on screen, and I have to fit them into the space, I'm all like, man, this is a little bit hard. So, I can kind of understand what they're going, oh, it's a rescue doll. I can't wait. Look at those boots.
It's also got her little hoodie, which is cute. But yeah, so that's out. Let's see. So, how far do we go? We managed to make it to almost an hour, so we'll probably be like an hour and a half when we talk about case files.
Yep.
Before we do that, I really quick, because I know we like to say that we usually do case files as like literally the last thing so people can stop listening. We are running our monthly topic poll for this month for Teaching Omega Sensei. It's got 10 days left. Only 6 people have voted. I feel like it's a few more votes. And there should be, because there's a tie. So you need to go out and vote if you haven't, because otherwise Lucky will decide.
Suffer.
So right now it's a tie between what do we know about grand servants and what is a singularity. And unfortunately, what is the moon cell has no votes.
Correct.
But yeah, so hold on, let's double checking some stuff. But yeah, so let's talk case files, because I literally only just watched this earlier today, because I kept forgetting. Well, so technically, follow-up, because I talked about it before, I did not get hit by a hurricane. It moved at the last minute, and very, very slowly missed me. But that meant that last weekend, I was still, bunkered down, getting ready for possibly getting hit by a hurricane, so, catching up on internet stuff kind of left me. And then I was just busy throughout the week and I forgot to watch it. So I watched it earlier today. And I don't know, Lucky, you got any thoughts on the new Case Files episode? You caught up with it?
Yeah, I caught up with it. Unfortunately though, I watched it a week ago, so now I have to sit and think.
Alright, well I'll kind of recap it because my thoughts are fresh and maybe that'll remind some stuff for you. So the episode is, I believe you said this to me, it's very exposition heavy. It's a lot of setup. A lot of stuff happens, but it doesn't happen. Like, towards the end, Gray fights Hephaestion again in the forest, but nothing really resolves from that yet. It's left open-ended. Ogamari, the little magus who could, decides to solve crimes on her own.
Oh no.
And we get to see some more of the Animusier magic. We get to see what her magic crest looks like, which has got this really intricate, like, almost like stained glass window design. And she summons something from space, from an imaginary space pocket. It's a head.
I wonder whose.
And then, in case you didn't think that Miss Adeshina was maybe bad, she bursts into the room, sinister as fuck. Like, literally, she angles her head so the lighting changes, and I'm like, Waver's still asleep. Waver sleeps through the whole episode, by the way. He only appears conscious in flashbacks.
Yeah, does you know she is Snakes, and, like, really, in anime, whenever you've ever really known a snake lady to be good?
Well, I don't know. Snakes have different images through different cultures, but also, yes, no, she's a little... But she wasn't... I mean, like, she helped at other points, too, so this is like, her sus comes to full culmination.
Pragmatic villains are the scariest.
We learned that there's apparently a vampire forest somewhere.
Well, not necessarily, like, point. They specifically said dead ancestor.
Right. That's a specific... A dead apostle is specifically a type of vampire. Yeah. A very high tier one. Not like somebody who is vampiric. That's an actual honest to God. That guy's undead. He has weird vampire powers. And apparently they suspect that it might be a reality marble, which immediately set off my alarm bells. I'm like, man, that guy's got to be real strong if he can maintain a reality marble all the fucking time.
Of just a forest. It's not a small one either, apparently.
A spooky forest, which kills people. R.I.P. those 3 mage scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to cast Fireball.
They were sent
It
out
did not
there
work.
just literally to die.
They thought they were being so smug. They were going to get the thing. We're going to do Fireball. It's going to work. Oh, God. I'm being stabbed. Also, I'm pretty sure that was a deliberate imagery callback to Apocrypha with Vlad. Like, there's no way that shot where they were all impaled straight up wasn't deliberate.
Yep.
Composition. Because they also do... The intro shot is a deliberate play on some of Iskandar's shots where Hephaestion is standing on a frozen body of water. But yeah, so the train gets derailed. There's a lot of exposition. There's a lot of back and forth. We learn about invocation. We flash back to a lecture where Waver talks about how it's a branch of spirit magic where you can summon heroic or divine spirits to enhance you, which is similar to how animalism works. And he explains that some people are sibyls, who can invoke this relationship with a past self to learn stuff. And it's almost like Archer explained all this shit in Unlimited Bladeworks, but in reverse. I love the parallels, though.
But,
also, this is Gray's flashback, and there's lots of significant looks at her, so I wonder, Because, by the way, we have to establish that Gray is pretty strong. Now, while this isn't written by Nasue himself, we have talked before about servants as a concept multiple times, and servant containers are fucking strong, even if, as probably given her sneakitude, Hephaestion does not have a high-level strength stat. Strength E is still stronger than literally every normal human.
Yeah.
So
she is fighting head-to-head with Hephaestion.
Gray's brawling with this chick who is still a servant, still a high-level spirit creation, and she's mostly fine.
Matching at the moment. An avalanche might disrupt this, but they don't seem to mind.
No. Also, we do see explicitly that what's-her-face, Yvette, can change her Mystic Eye.
She has a quick change. It's kind of funny.
And she swaps the gems, so she swaps to Mystic Eyes of Flame, which I think I said before in our episode on that were not yet described, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Thank you,
hey,
Case
guess what?
Files
She looks at stuff and it gets set on fire. Who could have guessed? Also, this is the first time I noticed that Hephaestion has heterochromia. Her eyes are two different colors.
I didn't notice that, now that I think about it.
Yeah, they're subtle, but there's some lingering shots on her face, and I'm like, are your eyes different colors? Yeah, so I assume only one of them is her Mystic Eye. But anyway, it's still good, but like I said, it's a lot of setup for, I'm sure, this week's episode, because that was, 9? So this week will be 10. That'll probably be, like, big culminating conflict, and then it's, probably 2 parts with 11, and then that leaves below at, like, 12 and 13 for the real mastermind, and then denouement. Though the mysterious head removal thing, also gets a little bit explained in another Shishigo and Luvia insert where they run into the zombie cooking mage. I love that guy.
It's so fake, but so fabulous.
But also, apparently he works in the clock tower's media manipulation department or something. Because he actually explains how they keep the masquerade up. Because they mentioned this murder spree where people had their heads mysteriously ripped off, right?
Yeah.
That was what they were investigating, was the MO for how Trisha died. But he explains that this stayed off the news because thanks to the intervention of the clock tower and the Holy Church, it didn't get widespread approval, and the local broadcasts, the Mages Association fucking took the tapes. So, like, that was cool to actually, like, see them working this masquerade that they're supposedly really big on.
Yeah. Filling in those details.
So yeah, it was a very detail-focused episode.
Again, I'm not, like, some people get upset with a bunch of, like, exposition being thrown at them, but I think we were having this talk last week, what's up, but for people who are not in the know, like, you literally will need things to have them explained to you as the viewer. Yeah, right. The characters in the show may know this information, but if you, the viewer, does not, well, you're just going to be left with a bunch of questions on how things work.
Mm-hmm. And so this is good because it's multiple threads of exposition. It's multiple threads of investigation. So it doesn't focus on anything too long, so it gets boring because it can, like, switch from POV to POV. Like the last 5 minutes or so is all these different sequences of stuff going down. Like, Waver's very sickly friend showed up, and he was a real creepo. But he showed up, and then
Yeah,
he went into the woods to get the train out of here. So, like, his little party is in distress. Grace stayed behind to fight Hephaestion. So that's, like, a different conflict. And now Olga Mary has found the head and a plot coupon. Something else fell out, too. But Miss Adashino's gonna, like, try and fight her. Waver's still unconscious. Cowles is still sitting there doing nothing, keeping him alive or whatever.
Oh, there was, again, also a reference, like, kudos to Cowles, because apparently he's real good at this electricity magic, but he's only been practicing it for a few weeks.
Yeah, he learned it in Waver's class a couple of weeks ago, which astonished Olga Mary. She was like, "What? Man, this guy's class is phenomenal." But then Olga Mary remembers that she's a mage, and she immediately fucks off. Oh shit, we're in a creepy place where people are gonna die. All right, I'm gonna go back to my room and set up a bounded field. Now, she does stuff in her room, but still.
This is why you never split the party.
No, never split the party. It's a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
But all right, especially when you're on a literal murder mystery train. That's how you get murdered. But anyhow, yeah, that's Case Files. We'll see kind of if there's some payoff immediately next week, or rather, tomorrow, or just more extended setup, because we're coming into the last couple episodes, so you're building tension, ramping up, and then tension decreases, story arcs and stuff. But I think we're probably mostly through whatever's going on with the show. We're at over an hour.
Booyah! Faffing complete.
Yeah, so next week, how many? Because let me actually double check how many days are left in Nerofest. We're about 5 days.
Not
so
7.
Yeah. So it says about 5 days left on the wiki, so that's until the 11th. Yeah, so we got a little while. So we'll probably have just started 10 million by the time we do our next show. We'll be sure to talk to you about anything going on there. There's no really need for a pregame or anything. It's just, it'll happen. And if it happens right away in the middle of the week, we'll drop a news episode. A little news video you can follow.
Yep.
But expect the usual, like, login for SQ tickets, etc. There'll be a Merlin banner, which everybody's super excited about, etc., etc.
Super.
No, Axe, I don't know if we want to advertise the faff. We want to lure you into a false sense of security where you feel like you have to stay for the whole episode.
Yeah, we do.
It's News Anchor 101. Tune in. More news at 11.
Actually, I think we got a couple comments on our last What's Up about people. It's like, actually, they kind of enjoy us just rambling off on topic. We're starting to get the users starting to pick up on it.
Yeah, our last couple of What's Up have actually done very well. Like, there was a little bit of a slow build, but I think that because it was very clearly advertised as, like, the Three Houses episode, eventually people jumped into it for that, so. Check out What's Up. It's we do it every week, just like Let's Talk FGO, and we talk about whatever on there. Gotcha stuff, video games, other anime, books, TV, whatever's on our mind. So, yeah, anyway, I think we'll wrap the show. Look forward to next week where we talk about whatever millions of downloads this is. JP might have announced whatever's coming next, or they might still be cruising on Interludes. Don't know. We'll see. And, yeah, I guess that's everything for this show.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come back at you next week.
Yep.
And like we said, tune in for What's Up in the next couple of days, and we'll talk more about stuff. But yeah, so I guess I'll just do the outro. So if you're watching this on YouTube, and you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments section down below. We love your comments. Or you can consider joining our Discord. That link's in the description. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can get all the latest stuff. We're real close to 2K subs.
It hurts. It really hurts. I keep
So,
seeing it.
Let's break that barrier, despite the fact that YouTube usually rounds us to 2K.
Yeah, stop that. You give me false hope every time.
And even if you're already subscribed, don't forget to consider hitting that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video. And of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to the episodes early. You can get access to them in audio format, downloadable immediately after they're done editing, so you can get them right away for as little as $1 a month. And that sort of support really helps us out. And we'll be talking more about what your support helps us with on What's Up next, because I'm going to make Lucky talk about streaming. That's okay. He was going to talk about streaming anyway, but I won't let him forget.
That's the big.
But yeah, so that's the show. like we said, we'll see you next week for more Let's Take FGO. We'll see you in another couple of days for What's Up. Stay tuned for other stuff throughout the week as we do. Like I said, if there's a news update, we'll cover that. If there's any other stuff. And in general, we'll see you around. Thanks for listening, guys.
Casual Spice out.
Sassy Spice out? No, wait, I'm Casual Sass out.